everybody. Welcome to our evening sessions, which are every day at 6 p.m. And we bring you lovely, lovely guests. So stay tuned and make sure to keep sharing this video. My name is Darshana Shah, and I'm today's host. And welcome you all. And do settle down. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest today. What can I say about her? I'll have to read about her. She has so many talents and so many she's a multifaceted personality. So she's the founder of Win Serenity Coaching. She teaches mathematics. She's an artist. She writes poetry, and she is expert in fashion industry, even culinary expert in catering. And oh my God, her bio is so impressive. But rather than giving it all away, let's ask Prachi herself directly. How are you doing, Prachi? Welcome, Prachi.
Thank you so much, Darshana, and thank you for having me on this your talk show. And it's my honor and privilege to be here.
Yes, yes. So IIW supports all, women. It's not just UK, from anywhere. So please do, if you have these talents, you want to come and be our guest, so do get in touch with us. And Prachi, I want to ask you that how did this journey begin? Because you are a coach now, and you started with you are teaching mathematics. You are an
Yeah.
artist, and you are also in fashion industry. Can you share a little bit about your journey? I'm excited to know, and I'm sure the audience is excited as well.
Thank you very much. I did have a very lucrative fashion industry career, and fashion industry designing was always my passion. So it was a very high flying career that I had until one day I discovered that I had cancer in my body. And that was the time when my entire life, it seemed that it crashed. But um, so after that, there was like series of ailments that I went through. After every 3 to 5 years, I had, you name it and I had it, like cancer, brain tumor, which was life threatening, then this spinal injuries, then respiratory disease. So one after the other, it just kept on happening. And in such a way that every incident actually required some sort of hospitalization or some sort of surgeries, which were major, of course. So every few years, I was back to square one. I used to start again, then back to square one, then again, build up my life again, again back to square one. So it was quite frustrating at times. Therefore, I just couldn't continue with my high flying fashion career, which really demanded intensive commitment and, of course, international travel as well. So I gave that up and I took a break. But then I am a person who doesn't believe in sitting idle at all. So therefore, I wanted to do something. And because I have a degree in maths and I have absolute passion for maths, teaching mathematics, so I started teaching mathematics. Of course, the package went from like a fat package to a literally very small package. But the thing is, I always believe something is better than nothing. So then I started teaching mathematics. And then one day I came across this coaching, and it really resonated with me as with my personality, what the coaching ethos are, what the coaching principles are. It really felt that okay, I am made for this profession. And hence I just decided to become a coach. And life doesn't really go as planned always. There are lots of ups and downs. The only attitude that I adapted was acceptance, complete acceptance of whatever the situation is, and change myself accordingly. Look at something with a different approach completely. What can I do now? What? So that was my, you can say, everyday quote that I believed in. Now what? What has happened has happened. Now what? So that's how I began my coaching journey. Because of my experiences, life experiences that I've had so far, it is really helping me to understand people very well. Understand, because I really know what pain is. So I can understand when somebody says, I'm going through health challenges, somebody says, I'm going through relationship challenges, career change. So everything I have, I think, gone through pretty much. So it does help me in my profession.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. And I wouldn't believe you look so bright and so shining. Can't believe that you've had this journey of cancer, because cancer is, of course, very, very difficult to handle. So well done and congratulations. You are smiling and you are shining. And what a wonderful journey that is. Thank you for sharing. So share us some, I heard that you said that from this fat package to, you know, thinning down on the salary. So I feel very sad that, teaching is such a sacred profession. And of course, maths, not all people are good at maths. I personally am not very good at maths. So how do you feel satisfaction wise? Because I believe teaching is a very sacred profession, and I do feel very bad when teachers or tutors, they come back, and I hear all the time that they are not paid well. So what would you say about that?
See, when I had to change my profession because of the restrictions, the physical restrictions, because I could not, I wasn't well enough, I wasn't strong enough to really pursue my fashion career, which really demanded a lot of attention, long hours. Now, because my attitude is, which I developed over the period of years after my cancer, when I decided that, okay, life cannot really go on like this. It just needs some sort of major shift, major shift in terms of the way you think. So that was required for sure. Now, because I cannot go on into my actual profession right now, what else can I do? And I always believe that something is better than nothing. Also, that's why I actually started the mathematics teaching, and I thoroughly enjoy, because I love teaching. I love mathematics as a subject. I'm absolutely passionate about it. So I put my heart and soul in teaching then. So it doesn't
Right.
matter whether the package is big or small. I thoroughly enjoy, that is most important for me.
Yes, the satisfaction you get
Yes,
when
absolutely.
is something that is more valuable than the
Absolutely.
money. I agree, completely
So it's
agree.
the
And
perspective.
yes,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
good. So I wanted to ask you that you have mentioned cancer and of course other threatening diseases or conditions that you had.
Yeah.
So what helped you to come out this strong, and you seem to be such a positive personality? Could you share with us, I mean me and the whole audience, what was it
Yeah.
that helped you?
Yes. When I had cancer, of course, the first reaction was, oh my God, everything is, my world is crashed. So that was my first reaction. My kids were very small. I have a lovely family. So it was quite distressing for me. However, then I started reading some sort of self help books, self healing books, spiritual books. And what I realized was that a lot of health challenges really originate from your mind. The more you put inside your mind, you more you suppress for years and years, the body definitely needs to manifest in some or the other way. So a lot of diseases or a lot of discomfort, I would say, they do originate from the health or from the mind and your thought process. Therefore, I decided to transform my life. Of course, everything was quite theoretical for me because I just read it. I did not know where to start. And I had absolutely no clue what transformation means, what changing the thought process means. So it was all, you can say, just self discovery, trial and errors, lot of failures. However, the determination was there that yes, this life cannot go on the way it is going on now. So it definitely needs a shift. And I realized that hardest thing in life is to change yourself. It's really, really tough. We It's very easy for us to really expect others to change quickly, but when it comes on yourself, even one habit I took to change, it just took me months and years. So what I developed was acceptance. Now this disease is in my body. Now what? I decided I'm not going to cry on what has come. 5 years back, I was told that I'm going to live only for 2 months, but I'm still here. So it was the rarest kind of brain tumor, which was quite life threatening. However, it was important for me, apart from what the doctors were doing, they were doing their best, absolutely. But apart from that, it was my responsibility to keep my mind sane and happy. That was my goal and my motto. So the attitude that I developed, now what? Let me look. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for the benefit. I do not know what the benefit was there and then, but I surely knew that it would take me to become the person I am today. That is what I adopted. And that's what really got me into um, a mode of transformation and keeping myself happy.
Very nicely shared, very nicely, very inspiring, very inspiring. So my next question is, today's topic is power of positive perspective.
Yeah.
And so how does it affect us, this power of positivity that I hear positivity word all the time? And, how does, can you shed a bit more light on this in your own words?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a very small example here. Um, I was in my office one day and standing next to the window, and it was raining, heavily raining, very beautiful rain. And I was just standing there watching the rain, and I felt, oh my God, this is so divine. Suddenly, a colleague came and she says, oh my God, such a horrible weather it is. Absolutely horrible. I don't know what to do with this weather. It's so gray, it's so depressing. Then another colleague came just 2 minutes later and she said, oh, it doesn't bother me at all. That moment, it really struck me straight away that rain is common for everyone. So if the situation, rain is a situation. So if the situation has to be the cause of what you feel, it should ideally create the same sort of feelings in everyone's mind. But it is not happening. Everybody has a different kind of feeling or different kind of emotion going through when they are looking at the rain. That struck me instantly that, hang on, the situation has got nothing to do with how you feel and what emotions you have going on in your mind. So that is when I actually understood what I had read in those self-healing books. That situation is not, you create your thoughts. So we take the situation as a trigger, as a stimulus to create the feelings or thoughts or emotions within us. So that means we actually have the power to create whatever we want in whatever given situation you have. So I'll give another little example of my own, basically, which I used basically. I was in the hospital with this brain tumor I stayed there for about 3.5 months, and extremely painful. It was really far off. So obviously family couldn't come every day. They just came once a week to see. So I was quite alone there. Crucial, I mean, tremendous pain, no doubt about it. So one of my friends, she called me and she said that, oh my God, why have you got such a thing? How horrible, God has really been so unfair to you. Now, that time, I had two choices to really take that sympathy, and the other choice was just take it positively. So I chose to take things in a positive way, in the sense I thought, like, okay, no, there is nothing wrong in it. It's fine. I've got pain, I've got brain tumor. Doctors are doing their level best to cure me. However, in so many years after marriage, I have never ever got this kind of me time ever in life. I had an ensuite room, food was brought in on my table, taken away. All I had to do is just eat and sleep. That's it. What can be better in this kind of situation which could not be changed? What better can I get? I had got undisturbed solitude and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Leave apart the pain part, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, this is perspective. Having a positive perspective will actually not change your situation. It will never reduce your pain, but it really gives you a different side of thinking. It just changes how you feel about that situation. You can choose to feel good, you can choose to be a victim, you can choose to feel powerful about it. So choice is always ours. We always have a choice. So thinking positive really makes you a positive perspective makes you think rationally and makes you deal with a situation in a much more productive and practical way. That is the only difference.
Right, right. Beautifully said that how, instead of taking it as a sympathy, you turned it around. So beautifully, beautifully explained. And I loved it that, this, you were like, when it was raining, you connected with the nature and everybody had different thoughts. So that was like an aha moment for you. And yes, I agree, whenever we are connected with the nature, whenever we are in our own self connecting with our the existence universe, then of course we feel ourselves, and that's what itself, which is like coming in the present moment and then bringing out the best in us and others. So yeah, I fully agree that nature, and I love rains anyway, that does help us to think positively. And I do encourage people, because I'm also a meditation teacher, to take long walks, to do yoga, to meditation. I don't miss a chance to mention whenever I mention that. So coming back to your coaching journey, just had a question about coaching. So what is it that you coach, and how do you help people achieve whatever they want to achieve?
See, coaching, when I came across this coaching, I had in my mind, I always thought coaching is like counseling, but it's not. Coaching is a very different approach. It actually aims and focuses on completely on improving your personal performance. In short, I would say it is basically take what is now. We have got nothing to do with your past. So, what has past is past, gone, done and dusted. What is important is now, what situation you are in now, and what can we do to help you achieve your goal in future with whatever resources and whatever situations you have right now. So it is completely future focused. Therefore, I find a lot of positivity in coaching, tremendous positivity. It helps people to take responsibility of your own actions. Now, what coaching helps is transforming your own self in terms of having a positive approach towards what you really, where you really are and where you want to be. So we as coaches, we actually bridge that gap between of the client from where they are right now to where they really want to be. So in a way, what I can describe it as, okay, a coach is like a lighthouse who can help the client decipher their own path, which can be actually nebulous in the darkness of the situation. Sometimes the situations are really chronic, sometimes they are very disturbing. And as I said, health challenges and pain and loss, and there are a lot of areas where people really struggle, and they are definitely not pleasant. Because I've gone through tremendous pain, I know that pain is really unpleasant. Any sort of disease is definitely unpleasant. But even after having it in your body, how can you just think differently? That is different. That is beneficial for your own mind, for your own mental sanity, the first responsibility of our own self is to keep yourself happy. That is most important. And it's an utmost responsibility that each individual has and must adapt. So, as a coach, I said I would just show you some light that will help the client navigate their own path towards the goal towards the destination that they want to go to. That is important.
Right. So it is like any specific time you have of coaching, 1 month, 3 months, or it depends on each individual client.
Oh, yes, it depends on each individual client. It depends on what their goal is, how long term goal they have. They have a short term goal, long term goal. So it all depends on the goals. So we do talk to the client. We have this like initial, which we call as discovery session. And we do talk to the clients and understand what their requirement is, and then decide on different packages or different times, how much time it's going to take. Sometimes where there are some sort of practical goals, some sort of visible goals, materialistic goals, they are different to what the abstract goals are. Like abstract goals could be something, oh, I really want to feel happy, I'm not confident, I want to be confident. So those kind of goals, definitely it's like transformation. And any sort of transformation, self transformation, takes really long. And transformation is one thing which really needs 24/7 consistent hard work on yourself. Changing
And that
yourself
hard
is
work is
not easy.
possible. That hard work is possible, and it can be made easy by lovely coaches. So if you need
Yes.
coaching,
Yeah.
please do get in touch. The details will be shared in the comment box. If you have any questions, because this is live on Facebook, so please put comments and we'll pick up your comments and questions and ask Prachi, who is here, and she's taken out time, so don't miss this opportunity to ask the question. And also we will put those who are present in the Zoom chat, but we can accommodate only so many people at the Zoom chat. So thank you whoever joined. We'll put the details of Prachi in the Zoom chat as well. So Prachi, another question I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
maybe the last question, but your conversation is so interesting that I feel like asking you more questions, and I'm sure those who are joined will ask some questions as well. So in this COVID times, there are people facing a lot of challenges. There are personal challenges, there are professional challenges because
Yeah.
people have lost their jobs. There are relationships challenges because
Yeah.
a lot of people haven't been staying together 24/7 like this in a locked up situation with family. So what would you say about this situation, and how can we shift our attitude towards this?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. There are always two ways to look at any situation, especially which is an adverse situation. Say, for example, it's a job loss, right? Many people have lost their jobs, and I have gone through the job loss, of course. So I definitely know what it is like. But so the two ways are, one is my whole world is crushed. I am depressed. I cannot do anything now. I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So, this is one way of thinking. Another way of thinking could be, of the same situation, could be that, okay, it has happened. Now, what can I do further? Can I take this as a doorway to a new beginning or a new chapter in my life? What can I do about it? I can just like share a very small example of my one of my clients. Now, the client lost the job. Now, what to do? Of course, the client was depressed, very, very sad, didn't know what to do, had never done any other job ever apart from that particular profession. Now, what? Now, as a coach, it was very important for me to bring out the strengths of my client, which sometimes they themselves are completely unaware of, or they don't even acknowledge. They had never acknowledged that they have those strengths. So, it's as a coach, I definitely see it from that perspective, and I do bring out the best. So, as that example, I asked the client to write down everything that they can do. They can do means even the smallest bit. Smallest means even you can say cleaning the house or gardening, those kind of things also. I said, don't think that this is a very small thing, but just write everything that you can do. Then I asked, once that list was made, then I asked the client to shortlist from that what all can you actually do very well. So, say from 10 things, the shortlisted items were, say, 5. Now I asked the client to shortlist from that list of 5 things to what was actually her passion. So it went down to maximum 3 things. Now, out of those 3 things, I said, what can you actually turn into a profession or a source of income, if not like a 24/7 profession, but as a source of income, what can you actually incorporate? That is when the client was really delighted, in terms of who never thought in that way, who never thought in that direction. The client was extremely good at baking and gardening as well. And the client actually started that side business of baking and gardening because the client was excellent in that. And actually, she started earning a lot of money out of it. So it is how you take things, how you take the situation, and not get stuck anywhere. Life doesn't get stuck. Life has to go on. Your body goes on. You will eat, you will sleep, you will move, you will do everything. Life doesn't get stuck. So why is the mind getting stuck? So it's all about, you know, deciphering your own path by keeping yourself calm in that situation. When you lose something, one goes into a panic mode, or one goes into a distressed mode. And when you are distressed, the thought process is very, very fast. And when the thoughts go in a very fast speed, your thinking is not rational. Your thinking is not channelized to the direction of where you really want to go. Therefore, it's very important to keep calm and to think in the direction which would really benefit you to reach your goal. That's very important. Yeah.
Right. Very beautifully explained that how you turned around the scenario of this person. So, wow, amazing. So, those of you who are facing job challenges or want to, change and do something, then Prachi is here. You can consult her and take her advice, and then she can guide you and motivate you in whichever way. It's not about, sometimes we feel, oh, I know, what I'm good at. I know what I'm good at, but actually the exercise that Prachi helped to write down everything. So coaches have this ability, and they take you through that journey. This It can be a small exercise as writing down, it could be anything else. So this is the reason for having a coach in our life. Would you agree, Prachi? Isn't it that
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
see it from a different perspective? Isn't it,
Yeah.
Prachi?
Yeah. Perspective is very important to see a situation. And we as coaches, we look at something with a completely unbiased perspective. We will not have our own emotions in that at all. No judgment, no emotion involved in it. That is why we can see things very, very rationally.
Right. So this
Yeah.
is about job and career that we talked about, but there
Yeah.
are other challenges which people are
Yes.
facing
Yeah.
during this COVID times. What would you give people who are facing challenges about personal challenges, like they have become a bit lazy, they are having a setback and complacent attitude? What would your advice be to those people?
See, what I believe in, I can say, I can just share what I really believe in, what I've changed myself into. Um, every action, it's a law of nature. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? Every decision has a repercussion to it. And it's very important that whatever decision you take, the repercussion, you should be really ready to take the repercussions. That's very important. I keep saying decision is yours, result is always yours. And I follow that as well. I tell my kids as well. So whatever you decide to do, you have to ensure that you know what the repercussions will be, how they are going to affect you. So that is most important. And you should be ready to accept it then. So say just giving a little example, you from England, you go to US or you to Europe and you start driving, you drive on the same side as you're driving in the UK, you will get penalized for that. Because, and if you say, oh, I'm ignorant about it, I didn't know about it, the police, who the traffic police who will catch you will always say that fine, if you were ignorant, fair enough, you will still get fined right now. Now when you know the repercussion of it, you will not do it again. Simple, right? So even if you make any mistakes by mistake, the repercussion has to come, and it will come. So think, whenever you act, whenever you take a decision to either be lazy or to be really active or do this or to not to do that, think of the repercussion, weigh the pros and cons of what your actions are. And that is what we coaches really help people to understand. It's not just about goal achieving, it's all about learning also how to take responsibility of your own actions.
Right.
And
So
that's
if you are having any of you are having complacent attitude or have taken a back seat in your life, or you're just letting life pass by, then also here's the time to consult. Prachi is here. She's a wonderful coach. So make sure you consult her. And another important aspect of this COVID, which has affected us all a lot, basically three more aspects, is about your job, which you already covered, about personal life, being lazy or being not able to do things that we want to do. The last important and can't missable is the relationship. So what would you say, in this COVID times, people are facing a lot of relationship issues, a lot of marriages have been broken down. What would you say? And then please stay tuned. I'm going to open the round for question answer. So you can unmute yourself and ask questions to Prachi while she's here. So Prachi, advice on relationships.
See, relationships is very complicated. Complicated in terms of everybody has a different kind of relationships. Everybody has a different, and relationship issues, what have just cropped up in these last 12 months is actually not because of this particular limited time. It's always down to many years of that association, many years of accumulation of a lot of little issues. It's never like one major issue that causes any sort of relationship problems. It's an accumulation of small things over the period of years and years that are unresolved. And any sort of unresolved issues, when that situations come favorable for a destruction or for something to go wrong, it will happen. Everything will come out in that time when you are constantly together. Now the only thing is willingness. First of all, are you willing to give it a try to mend the relationship? It's all comes down to what you really want in life. How important is that relationship for you? Why did you first of all get into that relationship? That is important. So if they are very trivial issues, then obviously you have to really give it a good thought, to think, to pen down, to write everything. Writing, I believe a lot in writing, because when you're thinking, the thoughts are at a very fast speed, and most of the times we forget the thoughts that we have been thinking. So I believe in writing. So when I write it down, it is concrete, it's crystal clear in front of me. Come back to that list again, and then you realize, oh my god, what sort of things I was thinking about, you know. So thinking is or writing is a very, very powerful tool, which I believe in, and it has given me great results. Of course, everybody has a different way of dealing with things. So it's very, I feel it takes years and years to build relationships, and it takes very short time to break them. So if it can be saved, why not? Do everything you can to save a relationship. But if
Wonderful
it,
advice,
yeah,
wonderful advice.
yeah,
So, everybody who's watching, any aspect of your life, it could be personal, it could be relation, it could be your job or career change. Prachi is available, and she's a wonderful coach. So, do get in touch. Prachi, please, can I request you to put your details in the chat? And I have
yes.
Sarika Handa, please unmute yourself. She wants to ask a question. Please put your videos on, everybody. That would
Yes.
be great to see you all as well. Sarika?
Hi, Prachi. It's such an
Hi.
inspiration to listen to your journey and almost unbelievable that you've gone through so much and come out so tall and so strong.
Oh, thank you.
Commendable, absolutely. I have two questions. It's more of a thought. One is one person when is ignorant of something, which the example you gave that, you're driving and then you're drinking is one thing, but say, for example, the congestion zone, and you're not aware when you're ignorant and still you are penalized. So how do you, I mean, I don't know, is it justifying to say for ignorant one should be penalized? I would like to know something about that. Second is that, one of my cousin I was speaking to, and they've been to she's married and two lovely children, and she speaks to me often, and she was going through a kind of a depression phase, but as outsider, I know in and out of it, and I think it's a perfect life, but her own agony that my there's no time for my husband. I don't know, how would you say that? Because COVID times are so difficult, and IT people are working 24 into 7 to some extent. Not really. What I mean is overstretching because lots of projects are coming up or whatever. So I do not understand at this particular moment. And when she says, nobody is mine and I'm lonely, how would you, if she would have come to you, what would be your reaction to this? Because I
Okay.
think she's just trying to feel, comfortable on basing, her happiness is based on others. When something of this sort comes to you, how would you, say, what will be your thoughts?
Okay. Let me take your first question first, about ignorance, right? Now, I'll give you a little example of ignorance. Um, as I said, every action has a reaction, no matter what. You cannot escape. Now, there's a little child, okay? The child is ignorant about how things are. He takes a knife and he puts on his hand and cuts. He's totally ignorant, but the result will come no matter what, right? So ignorance is, we cannot use ignorance as an excuse to not get penalized. So once you get the result of it, which is not pleasant, one learns. So when you get penalized for something, or when you get a not an unpleasant reaction to things, you learn out of it. You never repeat that mistake, even if you've committed that mistake by mistake.
So does that mean that only penalizing would make you think better? Would you think that?
Not really, not really. Our
Not
penalizing
really.
means just getting the reactions to getting the result. Basically, it's the result. So, say when you're driving on the wrong
True.
side, the result is you will get a ticket, right? When you
True.
when
Agree.
you're ignorant and you make the mistake of taking a knife and putting it on your hand and cutting, you will get bleeding. So that's just a
Absolutely.
result. Penalizing doesn't mean actually some sort of monetary penalizing, but it's any kind of result that comes with as a result of your actions, and that you cannot escape. No one can ever escape that, but
Possibly.
one
Yeah,
has
that
to
that
have
is
the
quite
attitude
right.
of
Yeah.
learning from it. Okay, fine, I've made a mistake, that's fine, but getting into depression because I've made a mistake, that isn't something that I resonate with, for sure. I believe in, fine, I've made a mistake, everyone makes a mistakes, everybody, and that's how one learns. An important bit is you don't repeat the same mistake, you make new mistakes, perfectly fine, and that's how you
That's
learn.
true.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and coming back to your second one, it's your mindset, it's your friend's mindset completely. Sometimes what happens is, um, how you take things. Even if somebody who has everything in terms of monetary or relationship, has a beautiful relationship, but something within themselves is not, they are not happy within. Now, what, as a coach, what I would do is, to help the client really analyze what is bringing that thought inside their mind. It has, what people think has got nothing to do with their life actually. What she is thinking, even if she's thinking, if she's being sad or happy or excited or depressed, has got nothing to do with the situation. It's how she is taking it and creating that thought within herself. So it's very important. There are a lot of things which are very, very deep rooted within. Sometimes the person who is depressed, the reason could be completely different. Completely means completely different. Some reasons could be coming right from the childhood sometimes. So it's all different. Everyone is different. Each one of us takes situations differently. So it's important to analyze. It's a very, very, I would say, it's a consistent hard work, as I said, on your own self, in evolving your own self. And that's important.
Prachi, I have
Thank you
very
so
good
much. Thank you. Yes, Ashley.
Prachi, I have some very good comments
Oh,
here, and they have mentioned that to take their name. So Jay Shah, he's here. Thank you for joining, Jay. And he has said that Prachi is really good, and everything that she has mentioned has become an answer to all the questions that he's facing different situations
oh,
in his life, and what her friend's life and sister's issues are going on. So you've covered everything. So he's really thank you very much. He's thanking you a lot.
thank you so
And
much.
then there are other people saying that it's a very good session, we should have more such types of sessions. So thank you very much everybody for your comments. Yes, that is the aim, and that's why we meet every day at 6 p.m. So, and the whole point of requesting you to share this video is so that people know and we know what you want. So thank you for this lovely feedback and lovely comments. And all I want to know is does anybody have any more questions? We have put in the chat Prachi's email, which I'm going to read it out
Yeah,
to you, people who
yeah,
are watching on the Facebook. So it is very easy to remember, info at winserenity.com, and it is spelled winserenity.com, which is good. And Prachi, there's one more question coming up. Anonymous question, so I can't say the name,
that's
but
fine.
yes, please feel free to, even if you wish to remain anonymous, that's fine as well. No issues. We keep everything confidential if you wish. What advice can you give to a mother who is dealing with her son having mental health issues, and she has become a victim of this circumstance? And she's son is directing all this anger and frustration on his mother. What would you advise to this mother? I have a few lovely questions as well. So Prachi, if you can answer this, then I can take up next one.
See, when it comes to mental health issues, it has to be honest, it has to be addressed by the right person, which means an expert. Who, anybody who is an expert in dealing with mental health issues can only deal with that. Now, your son is dealing with it, of course, but more than that, even the mother is dealing with it. So, but it's very important that they go to the right expert to even learn how to deal with mental health issues. I am definitely not an expert in dealing with that clinically in terms, I can, as a coach, I can always guide, or I can always help my clients to deal with their situations. But I'm definitely not an expert in, like, medically trained expert in dealing with mental health issues. That has to be dealt with the proper expert.
Right, but anybody who's a mom and who wants to have a quick chat with Prachi, then
Anytime,
you
yes,
can
please.
call her, and then
Yes,
you
please.
can. We cannot talk and go in detail with, but please feel free to call Prachi, and all calls with Prachi are also confidential. Rest assured,
Oh, yes.
IIW assures you about that. Don't worry about that. A lot of people don't want to tell their names, so you can contact Prachi. But there are some other questions, very interesting questions coming up. Come kaise khaye, I mean, in lockdown, yes, we forgot to mention that how to stay motivated, and how to eat less. What would you say about that?
Ask yourself, what is it that you want? That's very important. Everything you decide to do, ask yourself, what is it that you want to achieve out of it? That is most important. And you have to be very, very honest with your answers, that what you want to achieve. If I want to achieve ill health, most welcome, eat whatever you want. But if you want a good health, then of course one has to be really mindful of what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat.
Exactly, exactly. And it
Yeah,
is up to us to manage our
yeah,
life. I've
yes,
got here, Prachi, one more interesting question. You have many questions coming up now.
yeah, thank you.
I'm very glad that you're putting it in the chat, but feel free to unmute yourself and ask as well. So, Prachi, you said that no judgment and no emotions,
Yeah.
but how could you master your emotions as a coach and in front of the client when they are in a vulnerable state? Because, of course, when somebody is, sharing their story, it we
Yeah,
do get emotional. So how do you manage that? I feel this is the most wonderful question. So thank you, Zahia, for asking this lovely question.
yeah, it's see, if I get into emotions, the moment you get into emotions, right, your thinking, rationally thinking ability is not there 100%. So if I have to be a coach, if I am helping somebody, right, I have to be completely an unbiased person and not trapped in emotions. The reason why I will not react to something is because I'm not emotionally attached. So, say for example, if somebody is going on the road, two people are just fighting on the road, I'm least interested in that. I'm least affected by that because I'm not emotionally involved there. Why I react, why somebody reacts is when you are emotionally involved in some or the other way. Therefore, as a coach, it has to be my practice, my consistent practice, to completely be non-judgmental. I cannot, everyone is right from their perspective. This is what I strongly believe. And my the way I say it is, everyone has a logical reason for their madness. Very simple. So everybody is right from their perspective when they do perform that act.
Right.
Even if someone is, if even if somebody murdered somebody, that person is right at that fraction of a moment when he makes that act. He may realize instantly later on that I made a mistake, but that fraction of a moment, he has a logic to do that act.
Yes, that doesn't mean he or she is right, but it
Oh, no,
happens
no.
at that point of
Yes, that's
time.
what I'm saying.
Just to clarify and
Yes.
be clear, because this is such a, when we use words like murder and all in a public show like
No,
this, it's
no, no, no,
better
no,
to round it up by saying that it's not that it is right,
no.
but it happens at that moment. That's what Prachi is trying to say.
Absolutely,
I have another
absolutely.
beautiful question. Somebody is saying that yes, so whatever you explain is very good. That you have to be like this, but how to let go? I mean, hearing all this, it sounds good, but how to exactly let go? Beautiful question. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
How to
That was
exactly let go?
that was a biggest challenge of my life when I started this journey after my cancer episode. That was absolutely huge in front of me. How to let go, right? When I started this journey, the first thing when I realized that transforming yourself, changing yourself is extremely tough, most difficult task in the world. How can I really expect others to change so suddenly? So the first thing I gave up, of course, when I say gave up, it took years and years for this transformation. Nothing has happened overnight at all. So I gave up expectations. So my expectations from others has almost completely vanished, I would say, but not from the immediate family, I would say. But the thing is, from people, oh, they should do this, he should have done that, she should have done that. That sort of attitude has gone completely. So then let go is, the question of let go actually doesn't come then when you don't have expectation. That is something, when what do you hold on to is when you have expectation. Oh, she should have done. I invited her for lunch twice, she hasn't done it, even once. That's an expectation, right?
Prachi, if I may interrupt,
Yeah.
actually, what he is meaning by let go is, I think what he means is not about the expectations from others, about his own self, the emotions and whatever he goes through whenever a person faces a situation, how to let go that.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying. That letting go, when do you want to let go? When you have accumulated emotions in within yourself, and they all have a lot of external factors to it. It's not just a person doesn't live individually alone, secluded. They have people around them, family around them, friends around them, situations around them. So what you create is an accumulation of all the situations, and what you really create from that situation, taking them as stimulus. So it is definitely a hard work of letting go. I would say, when the thoughts come, start watching your thoughts. That is what I did and got great results about it. Start watching your thoughts, sit silently for some time, start watching your thoughts, let one thought come, think about it, what you are thinking. Is that thought negative or a positive? If it's a negative thought, change it into positive and let it pass very slowly over the period of time. But this has to be done very consistently. It will never work if you do it once a day or once in a month or so. It is not going to work. It has to be a consistent introspection practice that one has to really bring within themselves to really see the change, or after say a few months or a few maybe years.
Very
Slowly
good,
and
very good.
steadily your mind will get accustomed to thinking in a particular way of siphoning all the thoughts. This
Correct.
becomes a habit slowly, and then when it becomes a habit, nothing will pass through your mind without being siphoned, like say a check post there and then. So the moment a negative thought comes, there is a red alert button that comes in my mind, oh, hang on, something is not right. And another thing is, the moment you have a negative thought, your feelings will immediately change. You will not feel the same. You will not feel happy if there is a negative emotion coming. So the moment, acknowledge your feelings, that's important. So the moment you acknowledge your feelings, oh, why am I feeling sad? Why am I suddenly feeling low? What am I thinking? So now the moment you change your attention, your focus to what you're thinking, you can immediately catch whether the thinking is a negative thought or a positive thought. If
I
it's a
would
negative
highly
one,
recommend yoga
yeah,
and meditation that brings you to the present moment, that makes you observe your thoughts. And it's
yes,
highly recommended. I'm also a yoga and meditation teacher, so I don't miss my chance to say that. And I'm sure Prachi will agree. Prachi, another thing, question about the mother and the son that we talked about.
yeah.
So the mother is saying that the son doesn't agree to consult a doctor or anybody else. What would you do in such situation? If you can just guide us quickly before we close for today.
Yeah, we can definitely have a chat privately, right? If she wants to, if she's willing. My email address is given there. Now, it all depends upon how old is the son. If if the son is small, in the sense like 10-year-old or a teenager or early teens, you can always take that child a little forcibly. You can do it because your intention is the benefit of the child. But if they're big, there are different ways to do it. Of course, you can't force a 20-year-old or a older person who is going through mental health issues. But then again, I would say, please consult your GP. Please consult. They will absolutely guide you in the right direction, how to even convince your son. They will do everything to help.
Right. Thank you very much, Prachi, for that wonderful answer. It's a very nice answer because sometimes you're in this middle situation and you don't know what to do. But
Yeah.
please feel free to call Prachi in
Yes,
confidence.
please.
And since you don't want to mention the name, please feel free to call Prachi and she can advise you more on that. There is a request here, and Rashmiji, if you can just maybe we can accommodate that. Virenji, it's a very good idea. He's saying that would it be a good idea to have a breakout meeting prior to daily meeting so people get to talk to each other and they open up a bit? Virenji, thank you very much for this suggestion, and we will definitely look into it. We will take this up, discuss it with the committee, and come back to you. And I am sure Rashmiji has also asked. And lots of thank yous for you, Prachi. Thank you to me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Very good. Son is a young adult. Yes, so please consult Prachi directly.
Yeah.
Yes, all the questions I believe I have taken. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us today. Inspiring Indian Woman is very thankful for your time today. Please keep on sharing this video. Please get in touch with Prachi for any future questions. And I have shared her email as well. Please do come back to us in private and confidence. If you don't want to
Yes.
contact her directly, you can contact one of us, Inspiring Indian Women, directly as well. There's more messages coming. Thank yous coming. Thank you, Prachi. Lot of questions
Oh,
and
thank you so
thank
much.
yous coming. So, Prachi, thanks a lot for that. So we'll see
Thanks a
you
lot.
on. We are not meeting you tomorrow, but we are meeting you on
Um,
19th. We have a wonderful guest, Sridhar Maheshwari, who is the founder of Sridhar Life School. Topic: gaslighting, the hidden truth. Very interesting topic. We have the lovely host Salma as well. And mind you, we are meeting at 2 p.m. at UK time. So see you on 19th with IIW, same platform, sharing on Facebook and all other social medias, but the time will be 2 p.m. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Prachi.
Thank you,
And it was
Darshana.
wonderful. Thank you, Sharmila, and wonderful.
Thank you,
Darshana,
Prachi.
Thank you
Wonderful
very much.
session.
Thank you.
thank you,
And,
Darshana.
and,
Darshana,
and
people
very
are
quickly,
asking. People are
thank you
asking
very
about
much.
the
And
email address. So please note, I have put it in the chat. I think.
can you just read it out, Prachi, so that people watching
It's
on Facebook can hear, people watching on
yeah.
YouTube can hear it?
It's info@winserenity.com.
info@winserenity.com. That's the email.
Who's that?
And lovely to be with
Somebody
you.
has to
Always a
mute.
pleasure to host IIW shows. And see you all soon. Take care, stay safe, and keep smiling.
One
Thank you very
reminder,
much.
20th and 21st, we are having folk dances on the occasion of Holi. So be there. It'll be at 6 p.m. UK time, all the folk dances. And Shivani is the host for the day, the 2 days, and a lot of fun for at least 1 hour on 20th and 1 hour 21st. Goodbye. See you.
Bye.
Thank you,
See you all.
Darshana.
Bye.
Thanks, Prachi.
Thank you,
Thanks so
Prachi.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you, Manju and Manjulika.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, Darshana. Thank you, Prachi.
Nice to see
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much for all your support, everybody. Please do keep joining us whenever you possible.
We'll do our
Thank you,
best.
Rashmi. Thank you,
Thank you.
Rashmi.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.